All right, let's just jump right back into the deep end, shall we? Because we are about to pull on a thread, and fair warning, it might just unravel everything you think you know about, well, you.
So, last time, if you remember, we put your memories on trial. And what do we find out? That they're kind of fragile, right? They can be warped, rewritten, even totally made up. Basically, they're like corrupted files on a hard drive.
This time, though, we're going a level deeper. Forget the memories. We're looking for the one doing the remembering. You know, that silent presence behind your own eyes, the real you.
So let's get right to it. The question of you. What even is the self? People have been trying to map this inner world for, well, forever. And it turns out there are two totally different maps for the same territory. One from science and another from something much older.
You've got the West versus the East. The Western map is all about science, psychology, stuff we can observe and measure, but the Eastern map, it's way older, more introspective, and honestly, it asks a much weirder question. And this is where things get really interesting. The West, thinkers like Locke, Parfit, modern neuroscience, they look at your brain, your memories, and they ask a pretty straightforward question. Does my personality survive? But the East, wow. The East looks at all that and asks something way more fundamental. Is my personality even real? Like, at all? Or is the whole thing just an illusion?
To even begin to answer that, we've got to put down the brain scans for a minute. We're going to take a journey into something called Advaita Vedanta. It's an ancient school of Indian philosophy. And trust me, this is where your perspective is about to get a serious shakeup. So, Vedanta's core idea is pretty wild. It says that everything you probably think of as you, your personality, your ego, your memories, even your body, it's all just clutter, temporary stuff. Why? Simple. Because it all changes. Your body gets older, your mood is different today than it was yesterday, your memories get fuzzy, and Vedanta's logic is bulletproof. If it changes, it can't be the real, permanent, unchanging you.
Okay, so if all that stuff is just clutter, what's left? Is there anything? Well, according to Vedanta, yes. Behind all that noise and change, there's this silent, unchanging background. They call it Sakshi, or the witness consciousness. Now, get this. This isn't the part of you that feels sad. It's the part that notices the feeling of sadness. It's the pure awareness that sees the thoughts float by, but it isn't the thoughts themselves.
There's this amazing phrase for it, the seer of the seer. Think about that. You can't ever see it, because it's the thing that's always doing the seeing. It can't be an object of your attention, because it is your attention. You can try it right now. Have a thought, any thought. Okay? Now, who noticed that thought? Who was aware of it? That is Sakshi. Okay, this is a pretty abstract idea, I get it. So let's try a couple of metaphors. First up, the light bulb. Imagine a really messy room. The light from the bulb illuminates everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. But the light itself doesn't become messy, right? It just reveals the mess.
Or try this one, the flashlight. You're in a dark, dusty basement. You shine your flashlight around, and the beam lights up all the dust and dirt in the air. But does the light itself get dirty? No way. It stays perfectly clean. The point is, your thoughts, your feelings, your whole personality, that's just the stuff in the room. Sakshi is the light that lets you see it, completely untouched and unchanged.
All right, that's the theory. Now let's really put it to the test. The ultimate stress test for the self, amnesia. If your personality and all your memories are just clutter, what happens when it all gets wiped clean?
Let's use another metaphor. Think of your entire life as a movie playing in a theater. Every memory, your name, your biggest wins, your worst heartbreaks, it's all just flickering images projected up on that big screen. Maybe it's a drama, maybe it's a comedy, who knows? Amnesia? That's what happens when the film reel just snaps. The movie stops cold, the images are gone, and the personality, you know, the main character of that movie, poof, vanished. But here is the million-dollar question. The movie is gone, sure, but what about the screen? Did the screen get hurt when the character did? Did it get stained by all the drama? Of course not. The screen, the Sakshi, is still there. Perfectly white, perfectly clean, just waiting for the next show. Or if the cinema metaphor doesn't work for you, try this one. Memory loss is like a broken radio. The hardware is fried. All you hear is static and hiss. The connection to the music, to the story, is totally gone. But does that mean the radio station stopped broadcasting?
No, the signal, the music itself is still out there, perfect and invisible, filling the air.
And that really gets to the heart of it. The brain, the mind, it's just the tool. It's the hardware. And here's the kicker. Just because the tool is broken, it doesn't mean the user has disappeared. The person listening to the radio is still there, even if all they can hear is noise.
Okay, so maybe memories aren't us. But what about our bodies, our physical selves? Surely that's us, right? Well, there's a bit of a problem with that idea too.
You've probably heard of the ship of Theseus paradox. You replace every single plank of a ship one by one. Is it still the same ship at the end? Well, guess what? Your body is that ship. Your cells are constantly being replaced. The physical you from 7 years ago is almost entirely gone. So if the vessel is always changing, what's the one thing that remains? Let's try a more modern analogy to really nail this down.
Think about a character in a video game. What are they? They're just data, right? Their identity, their backstory, their special abilities, it's all just lines of code. Now look at our personality. Our ego, our memories, our talents. It's just the data that defines our character in this life. But look at that last row. The in-game character is controlled by the user, which leads to one hell of a question. Who is controlling your character? And that question, that's where things get really weird. This is the final and frankly pretty unsettling part. It might feel like a glitch in the very system of your reality. Just think about it for a second. What happens when a video game crashes? The screen goes dark, right? The character is gone. The story's over. But the user, the actual player sitting in their chair, is still there. They're still breathing, still watching. So let me ask you, are you the character, the one made of data? Or are you the user?
And now for the final, most terrifying question of all. If you, right now, look down and realize you're not actually the one in control, that your entire personality is just a character running on a pre-written script, then who or what is holding your controller? Is it God? Is it the universe? Is it a programmer? That one question, that's the glitch that kicks the door wide open to simulation theory. And we'll be diving headfirst into that glitch very, very soon.